This might be a bit controversial, but one of my favorite mythological women is actually Clytemnestra. Who is Clytemnestra, I hear you ask? You've probably never heard of her. I'm only teasing. Do you remember that time when Zeus transformed himself into a swan and then banged this woman called Leda? Well, after Leda was finished banging the swan, she went home and she banged her own husband, Tyndareus. This resulted in pregnancies, and Leda, 9 months later, she actually laid 4 eggs. Out of those 4 eggs, 4 babies popped out. 2 of them had Zeus as a father, and 2 of them had Tyndareus as a father. The demigod Zeus egg babies were Helen, who became later Helen of Troy, and Pollux. The 2 normal babies, even though they still came out of eggs, the offspring of Tyndareus, were Clytemnestra and Castor. Castor and Pollux are the Gemini twins from the constellation. But did you know these guys were quadruplets? Anyway, they all grew up, and Helen needed to marry someone. She ended up marrying Menelaus. And her sister Clytemnestra, she grew up and she married Agamemnon. You might remember him from Homer's Iliad. He's basically the ringleader of all of the Greeks who go over to Troy. He organizes them all, and he has a massive fight with Achilles. Anyway, before this Trojan War even started, Agamemnon decided that the goddess Artemis needed a bit of a gift before they went and set sail for Troy. They needed Artemis, the goddess, to give them favorable winds. For some reason, the only way to do this was for Agamemnon to sacrifice his firstborn daughter, Iphigenia. Now, he's very sneaky about how he orchestrated this. Agamemnon told his wife Clytemnestra and his daughter Iphigenia that she was actually getting married to the legendary Achilles. So she gets all dressed up, goes up to the altar, she thinks she's getting married, right? Her mother Clytemnestra also thinks she's getting married. It's not until they're up there that they find out the reason for her being there is to be a human sacrifice. Clytemnestra is devastated. She's angry. She does not understand why her firstborn daughter has to die. But Agamemnon doesn't care, and even Iphigenia is kind of a hero about it. She's like, okay, well, this is the way it's going to be. At least I can invite it and try and be like a very strong woman. She was probably only a teenager. Anyway, Iphigenia gets sacrificed. Horrible. Then Agamemnon pisses off for 10 years fighting in the Trojan War. The Trojan War ends and the Greeks win. This means that Agamemnon and a bunch of the other Greeks take Trojan women as sort of prizes and concubines to take home. Agamemnon's concubine of choice was the Princess Cassandra of Troy. But you might remember that she can tell the future. What Cassandra knew was that when they got back to Troy, Clytemnestra and her new boyfriend that she picked up over the 10 years that Agamemnon was away were intending to kill Agamemnon as soon as he arrived back from the war. Like for